Out of fixtures, we're going to do a quick pre-buy inspection thingy so you know what to look for when you're trying to buy a new vehicle, so you don't, overlook something or get into trouble when you buy something without looking at it and have issues. So just give me a like, give me a subscribe, and let's get through it. All right, fixtures, so the quick thing I like to do is, first thing is look at the mileage. 100,000 miles when most people recommend doing the spark plugs. So if it's at over 100,000, make sure that you ask the seller that the spark plugs have been done, time belt, stuff like that, etc., has been done with the scheduled maintenance period. Next thing I also like to do is when I'm driving down the road, I like to drive and just feel the brakes out. If you come usually above 40 miles an hour, you can press on the brake, feel a little bit of vibration in the brakes or pulsation. That usually means that you have warped rotors. If you have warped rotors, you're gonna have to do pads, rotors, all that stuff. So that's something you can talk about to the seller about how much you can get for it. Another thing is when you're driving down the road, you want to see if the steering wheel pulls to any way, if it just goes straight. We're not doing anything, so right now I'm going straight across, and there is nothing pulling on the steering wheel. So you just want to make sure there isn't like a weird bubble in the air, bubble of air in the tire or something like that would cause the steering wheel to go back and forth, because you would feel it in the steering wheel just like so. Next thing is you want to make sure that it, go take it for a spin, make sure the transmission shifts like it's supposed to, doesn't feel like it's trying to flare or feel funny when you go from one gear to the other. Usually you change gears between 20 to 30, 40 miles an hour, then after there you go like 50 miles an hour, you go to overdrive. It's different per transmission, but you just want to make sure that stuff feels like it's okay. The next step, we're going to look at brakes. If you look at the brakes and they're the backing plate, the metal plate at the back of the brake pad, if your pads look the same as that, that's about 50%. And the rear ones, for when you have disc brakes in the back, they can look, they can go a lot longer. So if they're at 50%, you probably have like 10, 20,000 miles left. Just depends on, because it's usually you replace the brakes in the front two times to the one time in the back, just because this is how much braking you do at the back. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and we're going to check fluids and stuff, and we're going to talk to the customer, make sure the spark plugs and stuff has been done. So just a visual inspection, you got all this dirt and stuff down here by the coils. I'm guessing this has never been done. So that's something that you'd want to do with spark plugs. You want to look at your fluids, make sure nothing's bad, and check your engine oil, see where you're at on that. It's pretty dark. Then we'll check when the last time it was done. If they're over on the oil change, then possibly they have been taken care of as well as they say they have. All right, you want to make sure you look at tires. And these look like they're good for a little bit longer. The back tires look the same. You don't have any scalloping in the tires from bad shocks. And lastly, you just want to look underneath, make sure nothing's been broken, which it all looks like it's pretty well factory. So the other thing to look at is just if there's overspray, or like up there in the front, if there's any crumple spots, just want to investigate and see if there's anything else that's awry. That car is pretty solid. Didn't have to do too much. Sometimes when it's a higher mileage, higher than let's say like 160, 150, you want to look a little deeper, look at some things. If it runs rough, you want a compression test, all that stuff. You never want to take somebody else's word for, oh, it just needs a tune-up, because that's a surefire way to get yourself into some trouble that you really don't want to be into, and it's going to cost you more than probably the car's worth. So if this is helpful, just give me a like, give me a subscribe, and tell a friend, and check out the Facebook and all the other good stuff. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.
Fixer good. Be a fixer. Be your own hero.